Do a show here called 2 Hours to Midnight on Saturday nights. As the name implies, get going around 10 o'clock. It's me, Corey Roddick joins me, Pat Butler, and then we just throw 2 hours of metal in your face. From every kind of subgenre of metal is represented. Local stuff in there, too. We've got local music from Midwinter and Local 13 tomorrow night. Play brand new stuff from... Well, who's one of the bands I'm going to play that I really like? Crossfire.
Crossfire, you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Remember those commercials in the 80s?
I don't.
You don't remember?
What was that for? A car or a what?
It was like a marble, like you had these little metal
It was a game.
beads, yeah, and like this little widget in the middle, and you shoot marbles at it or like beads at it until it goes in your opponent's goal.
Oh, I see.
But they make the commercial really amazing.
Okay.
I remember that game.
And then when you actually play it, it's not that fun.
Was that one that they tried to make a movie out of?
I don't think so.
Oh, they didn't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
You know what?
Please end the show.
Alan's co-host, Bill Squire, is going to be in Canton tomorrow.
Barry's like, please end the show. I can barely
Sick.
stay
I'm
awake.
so tired.
Hey, listen, it constitutes...
get on camera.
It
I'm
constitutes...
trying, it didn't come through.
It kind of constituted a cliffhanger at the end of the show last night, and I mentioned it very briefly before we got up on out of here, but Mary got her apartment.
Mary's having a
I
good
did.
couple of things.
So she's going to move into that zebra-walled, smells like diapers in there. The
Someone
daycare that you...
Someone coming on live streams, Mary looks kind of rough. Feeling okay? No, dude. I'm so
I haven't even
so
seen you
goddamn
yet.
tired.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I am not feeling well. Some Russian woman on the subway told me I looked tired today, and that didn't feel good. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am.
Why don't you go back to Putin, lady?
She looked at me. She goes, "You need rest." I was like, "Who the
And
hell
when
are you?"
an old Russian woman tells you you look
She
tired.
knows.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
You need good hot bowl of borscht.
Right, dude. No, I'm
Wow.
very tired. But we got approved for our apartment. It was the one that was the active daycare, so we were not allowed to take any pictures.
F them
'cause
kids.
They're
gone.
Minors there. We're signing our lease tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning.
I wonder if the kids know that place is soon going to be closed.
Dude, I asked
Parents
that.
are going to show up like, okay, I'm dropping them off. Like, oh, no, ma'am, this is an apartment now.
They're just going to leave a kid with you.
on your stoop.
Yeah.
Well, I asked the broker that because he was like, we can go see another place, but it's a daycare. So, and we were like, if we sign this, are the kids like homeless? Like, are they out of a daycare
Homeless.
if we move in here? He's like, no. They like the families know that the daycare is closing. Like, you're not the one pulling the plug on this.
I wonder why it's closing. Just because he wanted to convert it?
Well, they said that it's slowed down a lot post-COVID.
Oh, I
that
see.
They used to have like 10 kids, and now they're down to like 3. So they're like, for it to be running every month as a daycare, they're just not making enough money.
Oh,
off
there were
of it.
only 3 kids in there?
There were 2 like infants that were asleep in the second bedroom, so we couldn't even see the second bedroom. She like cracked open the door and was like, "Go ahead and peer inside, but don't make a sound or I'll murder you."
I was picturing a place that was crawling with kids. Like, remember the daycare on the
No.
ground floor at Oak Tree? The door was always closed.
Always screaming.
Always screaming. And
No.
I just wanted to, like, give it a tiny little knock and, like, hand food or something to the people working in there. Because it just
Provisions?
it just sounded like utter chaos every second.
No, there was like one 3-year-old girl like playing in what will be our living room. And then there were 2 infants sleeping in the second bedroom. So we didn't even really, she opened it wide enough that we could see how big it was. Like it'll fit a queen bed and a dresser, and that's really all we cared about. But when we go tomorrow, we'll actually be able to get a better feel for like the measure, like pull out a tape measure and measure.
Is this a
everything.
house or a building or?
It's a house, but 90% of the houses out here, they split into apartments. So it's either in, most of them are basement, first floor, second floor. And that's what this one is. So she has tenants in the basement and the second floor. And the first floor is currently a daycare, and that is going to be our apartment starting February 1st. It is a little bit of a hike. It's like a 15-minute walk to the subway station, but it's down a main street that has literally everything we could want on that main street, and it's only $2,800, which is like below the budget that we thought we
wow.
were going to have. Yeah. And is like the end of that street is a huge supermarket and laundromat. So it's a really nice location right in Astoria. So we're very excited about that.
This used to be the place I ran to whenever I was in need of a friend. Why did it have to end?
I'll tell you why, because some Ohio comedian needed a new apartment, Timmy. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's why it had to end. Sorry. Hey, wake up. Do you at least get to go wake up those babies that were sleeping?
No.
You go, hey, I'm moving into here, kid.
No, they told
Move
us.
over.
Like, she cracked the door and let me peer my head in to look at the second bedroom.
Well, yeah,
The
you don't want to
first-
wake up a baby.
The first bedroom is huge, like giant, and the first bedroom has a bay window in it.
Because it's probably supposed to be a living room.
Well,
Yes.
that's what I thought. I was like, because they put the living room, dining room, like the living room, dining room, kitchen is at the very back of the building, and it's all open. So I'm like, I don't know if they knocked down a wall or if there used to be a bedroom back there or what. But that open space is huge because this is the only apartment we've seen where we could actually fit a dining room table. Because all the other ones, it's like your living room
And
is
it's in your
slash
budget and
kitchen.
everything?
$2,800. Our
Nice.
budget was $35. Yeah, so we're like well
That's
below.
really good. That's great.
Yeah, we're well below where we wanted to be, but so it's good. Very exciting. Enough. I'm too tired.
She's lactating.
I can't do that. But
So
I
who
did.
gets the big living room bedroom?
So we haven't figured that out yet.
You can flip a coin, or is she going to pay more?
One of us is going to pay more.
Yeah, you know
I
who it
don't
is.
mind. I don't mind. I don't know that she minds. Once we actually get to see the second bedroom, I think that'll make more of a difference. And also, if they're only off by a couple feet, then we'll just split it equally. But if it's like significantly larger, then we'll talk about that and be like $200 more a month or something. I don't know yet, but
You could land a plane in there.
it's giant. It's really big. It's like set up kind of like a preschool. in there. There's, like-
256.
Okay. I can't. I hate you guys. Just let me live my life, man.
3 more hours to go, Mary. You
I've
better
been
buckle up.
Coughing. I'm so tired. But
Coughing.
So is Astoria a borough of a borough?
it's a neighborhood of a borough. Queens is the borough. Astoria is the neighborhood. So it's like Tremont or Ohio City.
Gotcha.
It's like a little neighborhood. But yeah, it's very exciting. I also got other very exciting news right before we went to break. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, good for you.
Just before we
Alan-
went to this break?
I will walk out. Do you understand?
Is that a threat or a promise? I need
Well,
to
you
figure
tell
out
me.
so that I can appropriately plan the rest of the program. All right, go ahead.
I am
God.
officially. I'm a passed at the Stand Comedy Club in New York City.
Hey,
I got my
congratulations.
first pass, which is so exciting. So in the first 10 days I've been here, I found an apartment and got passed to regularly work a club. Nope,
Hey.
wrong noise. Wrong noise.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
What does
that's
that mean
cool.
then? You
That's
just walk
great.
in there and say, "Give me free mozzarella sticks."
No, that
I mean,
means
she gets to work.
that means I get to work. So I went last night. I was saying how Mark Norman vouched for me to get a guest spot. I went and did my guest spot last night, and something I'm not used to here, which is going to sound, I know it sounds stupid, but like these lineups are 4 or 5 comedians that are nationally touring headliners all doing 15 minutes. So everyone is destroying. Like the show is amazing. It was sold out last night. And the girl before me, her name is Sydney Washington. Super, super funny. And she is annihilating. Like she's getting applause breaks every like 2 seconds. I'm like, dude, this is, and I'm used to headlining.
And you had to follow
doing-
her.
Well, yeah, but I'm used to headlining doing 45 minutes where even if my opener crushes, I have plenty of time to catch up. And, you know, this, you don't really have that. But it was exciting. Like, it was like, okay, I got to bring it, you know? And so I did. My set went very, very well. I got into some accidental crowd work at the end where this like couple had been together 17 years, but the guy was married and they were like, he couldn't divorce his wife because he was Catholic and his side piece was Jewish. So it was like star-crossed lovers that could never work out anyway. And so the set was very strong. It was 9 minutes and I didn't know this because the booker wasn't there. So they taped my set and sent it to the booker. I didn't know they were doing that. And after my set, I went to go talk to the manager to be like, "Hey, what did you think? Where do we go from here?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I just sent your set over to the booker, and he'll be in touch." Which kind of made me feel nervous because I was like, "Oh damn!" Like I didn't know that's how this worked. But then the booker emailed me today, literally right before we went to this last break, And he was like, hey, I saw your set from last night. Highly impressed. I just want to know if you'd like to move forward with working with the club. And so he just sent
What'd
me
you
another
say?
one. I said yes. I was like, yeah, that'd be
Like,
great.
Could you imagine if Mark had suggested you and they said no?
Right. Well, and he said that. He was like, Mark Norman, he actually met my new roommate last week. She opens for a comedian named Hannah Berner, who's very big on the internet, has a huge podcast. And this specific booker was at their show last weekend. He's like, I met Sarah. I met your roommate. We both spoke very highly of you. And then I also got a recommendation from Mark Norman. He goes, it's all great. Super excited to work with you. Sent me there's a Google form where you fill out your availability for the entire upcoming month. So I just filled that out, and so hopefully I'll be working there and getting paid.
Available.
Dude, literally every single night except for 2 nights, because I'm like, I just moved here. I don't have anything booked. I'm not going back on the road until March.
So I'm just gonna put a big check over the whole page.
Every single one. I think there were 2 dates that I had already had other shows planned or something like that. But yeah,
even
so that's super
in that case,
exciting.
it's just you say, I'm available, but just not at this time. So there's
Right.
because multiple, you were talking about yesterday, how you can do multiple shows in one
You
night.
can jump around.
Yeah.
There was.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
It's very exciting.
That's
so.
exciting because, we both know people that have been there forever. They've been in New York and still haven't gotten past at clubs and stuff like that.
And that's the thing too, that people were like, some people were like, you should have moved. You're too old. You're this, you're that. And I'm like, but waiting 12 years to move.
Don't listen to Elena.
I know, my sister. Waiting 12 years to move, I know so many more comics, someone like Mark Norman, who I've worked with plenty of times. I'm a better comic. I'm a sober person, so I'm not going to be getting hammered and messing up opportunities, where I'm like, this is how I saw this going. Whereas, I am over-prepared to be here instead of moving 3 years in.
You can kind of make up for lost time.
Really, because it's a lot of our friends who move here that are only a couple years into comedy and they don't have any money saved, and they're sleeping on a floor for 6 months while they're trying to save money to maybe get an apartment. Whereas moving as a grown-ass person who has a savings account, who's been doing comedy 12 years, who has connections, I'm very excited. I think if this 10 days is any indication as to how this is going to go, we're going to have a great time. So very good 24 hours getting approved for the apartment, and then now passed at the stand, which is super, super cool.
Well, good for you. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together. Makes it feel worth it to be sick and tired.
I watched Pete Davidson's new hour last night.
I did too.
Oh, I have not.
Did you like it?
I didn't hate it.
I thought it was very funny for what he does. I've seen.
Well,
that's some of his earlier stuff was really lazy.
His last special was exactly lazy. It was, but I think he was also on drugs at that time. I thought it was a vast improvement for that. It's not the best special I've ever seen, but it was very funny and engaging.
It was better than I thought it would be.
And I also like the fog machine behind him to keep it's black and white, but that
so
was just
all
a
you
nice
can see
effect.
is the smoke.
Yeah, but I thought that was good.
It's called Turbo Fonzarelli. It is good. And fun fact: Pete Davidson's mom, 3 years older than I am. So that's a good time.
But do you have a 70-year-old friend or 80-year-old friend like
female Terry?
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I liked it. I thought it was funny.
I thought it came together pretty well at the end. I thought it was definitely the best thing he's put out so far.
He does say every 6 seconds, and that gets really distracting. But it's funny. It's rapid fire. It's, Yeah,
also,
I
something that I didn't do for my special is wear Bill Squire branded clothing. Pete Davidson's got the PD jacket.
Like a logo.
Chappelle loves wearing Chappelle logos, so I should have had a logo.
You have a big BS on a satin jacket.
Right. Maybe next one. But yeah, it was enjoyable. It's funny.
That's why Mary needs a hook. See, now that she's really making some moves, this is when you get a hook.
MS.
Not even
shaking with laughter.
Not even the monograms. Just you get up there with I don't know, you're wearing really tiny rabbit ears every time or something.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
She has a catchphrase.
I do?
Don't get me started.
No.
Oh.
I don't know that. I don't know my own catchphrase.
From your TV show.
Oh.
Hey,
got me in the front butt.
Oh, right.
No, honk honk.
Well, I didn't know what she was going to say.
You're the main writer on the show. How did
I
you
know.
not know?
I didn't know where he was going. I'm sorry. I
This is why
do.
you-
Now, do
I
you get
do have a little bit
upset?
of wiggle room in between the script.
Do you get upset when people yell that out before you get to say it at your shows?
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Did anybody yell it out at the stand last night?
There were so many "Everybody Loves Mayor" T-shirts. I couldn't even believe it with
Mm-hmm.
my horse sidekick lawyer. I'm the lawyer. He's my sidekick, but he carries the briefcase in his mouth. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of fans, a lot of
It's not confusing.
outspoken.
It's layered.
I'm just saying, for some people who are just joining us and are new to my television show.
She's not your average lawyer, but she is very hot. She knows how to cook up on her hot and steamy pot. With her horse, you know she likes to ride him everywhere. Look out for this pioneer, everybody loves Mare. Everyone says that she's the greatest lawyer in the West. And every day she likes to dress up in her Sunday best. When there's trouble in the West, you better call her if you dare. Look out for this pioneer, everybody loves Mare. Look out for this pioneer, everybody loves Mare. Yeehaw!
Oh, got me in the front butt.
Boy, I hope Darnell's not dead.
What?
We haven't heard from him in a long time, and
he
he
called
is.
us like a month ago.
Huh? No, he didn't. Darnell? He hasn't called us in like a year and a half. Donnie called us
I don't know.
a few days ago. I thought Donnie might be dead too. And that's not me prematurely killing people. That's me using past information. But Darnell, he's blind. He's infirmed. Lives with his grandparents. Those two, they could keel over. What's he going to do? So I hope he's okay. What, Cody?
Nothing. I was saying with like Darnell, that's talent though. Like blind and can still play piano and sing his ass off. Like modern day Stevie Wonder.
There you go. I mean, his birthday is the day before mine. He'll be 37 this summer. So I hope he didn't go the way of the way Poundcake's supposed to go with the Ouija board. Ouija board told us some years ago the Poundcake's going to be dead by 35.
Did it say by 35 or at 35?
I thought it said by 35.
I think at 35.
At 35?
Yeah.
You mean the day he
No,
dragged
not
me
the
to
day
hell
he turns. Like he'll be 35
Within
when he
that
dies.
year.
Yeah. So you got to be have your guard up all year.
Okay. Well, then you could
I'm
be.
gonna do a lot of freaking drugs.
It could
man.
be a day before your 36th birthday and you keel over.
Milton Bradley knows.
The
talking
ball
about my-
player?
I thought you
No,
were talking
the
about my
game
nose.
company that makes Ouija boards.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. What, Cody?
I thought he was talking about my nose. I'm like, what's wrong with my nose?
There's nothing wrong with your nose. What's the matter with your nose?
I thought he called my nose a Milton Bradley nose. I was like, what?
No.
A Milton Bradley
That's
nose.
Oh.
why I was confused by what he meant.
Okay. Milton Bradley is the
the
company
toy
that
company, yes.
manufacturers. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that the real Milton Bradley really had. Well, the baseball player is one thing, or the namesake of the game company. But I don't think that the Milton Bradley that played for the Cubs, I don't think he has a really distinctive nose.
I didn't.
So somebody said, "Oh, you got that Milton Bradley nose." Now if they were like, "Oh, you got yourself a Babe Ruth nose," well, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Or a maestro nose.
Maestro. I haven't watched that yet. I keep
don't
meaning
care
to. Well, I like Bradley Cooper, and I really like Carey Mulligan, and I would like to see it. I for as long as it is, I don't know that I'm that excited over the source material, but I like the people that are in it. I was probably going to go see Oppenheimer this weekend. They're still showing it in IMAX or showing it again. And I know you said I don't need to see it in IMAX. But my thought was, if I'm going to go see it, I might as well see it in IMAX. It's just at Crocker Park IMAX. It's not like the true.
It's not the true
full-on
IMAX, but it's all
IMAX.
close-ups anyway.
Yeah.
It
the
doesn't
one at
matter.
the Science Center. Are they not showing it there?
No.
No.
Oh,
That's where I saw that, whatever, the Mesmerica. Where it was,
Oh, right.
It takes you on a
The hell is
trippy
that?
journey. It's like basically just music and makes you look like you're flying through space for 45 minutes. It was fine. It was interesting.
Nice.
Did some drugs. Enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Did some drugs and had a good time.
The person I went with did too much drugs, and she did
That's
not
no
enjoy it.
fun.
Yeah.
No, too much drugs
She
is
was
no
too
fun.
high. She did too many edibles.
Now, how did you bring her down from that?
I just said, "Have a good night."
Hey, have fun.
Good luck getting home.
She took an Uber home, and she's like, I gotta go, and I was like, okay. I'm like, I'll take you home. She's like, I already called an Uber. I was freaking out. I'm like, all right, have a good night.
Huh. Was it a date? Was it a situation where you were like,
Nah,
well,
we were just
damn it,
pals.
Oh, okay.
No, we're just pals.
It wasn't like she got so high to
No.
like get out of there or whatever.
No. We're buddies, and I was just like, hey, if you want, I'll drive you back home. And she's like, nah. But she lives out in like Paynesville, so it was kind of like one of those things like, I'll drive you if you want, but if the Uber's already on the way, bye-bye.
She was taking an Uber to Paynesville?
That's
Oh,
how high she
God.
was.
It's like $100 Uber.
Yeah, and you're high the whole
She
time.
made her choice.
No,
You're
thank
like, have
you.
I been in the car for 5 hours,
She was-
or what's happening around here?
She was convinced that the Uber driver was the worst driver she's ever had, and then she's like, no, but it was just I was very, very high, so every little bit of gravity that was working made her.
This is why I don't get
freak
high
out.
and do activities.
Well,
Some people like to do that.
some people do. She's usually pretty good about it, but that was a time where it just hit her way too hard. It happens.
That's a,
Even the best of us, even the pros.
I can say I evolved over the years because I used to have these. They were THC infused Jolly Ranchers, and I used to have those. They were really good, exactly.
That
And
sounds good.
and I don't know how many. They were like 20 milligrams or something like that. And I used to take those and just like go to events and dance, and it was like so much fun. And I just can't even imagine doing that now because, but at the time I was seeing a straight person, so I was wilding back then for sure.
I got to take a break. I'll have more money for you. 320. I will have those Say Anything tickets. A couple people hit me up. Hey, you have Say Anything tickets? I do. Last pair after the break, and then 330 is going to be that next keyword for you to grab $1,000.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere.